Oh god. Oh, my hair's a bit of a nightmare.
Absolutely everything!
I can't believe it's April already. So I usually try and plan my videos, ahead of time. Like, I'll pick a game to review, like get a schedule going. Say the game comes out on Tuesday, then I'll make sure I have my video ready for Saturday. But sometimes when, I plan a schedule around the game, get a game like with the intention to review it, I just don't find like enough to say about the game to like warrant making an entire video about it. Or there could be, some glaring issue that means the game just doesn't function as intended. So I thought I'd make a quick video where I just go through some of the games that I've played through the first quarter of the year, that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't feel like they warranted their own video. So if you've somehow not heard of Balatro, this game is a roguelike based around poker. It is so much more fun than that sounds. And it's probably like one of the most addicting games I've actually just played in the last few years. It is so easy to pick up and play. It's a game that you can take your time with, plan your strategy. Easy to fit a run in whenever you have like a spare 30 minutes. Look, the only bad thing I can say about this game, which isn't really a bad thing I can say about this game, is because I just suck at it. Obviously, it's not a slight against the game. I just know I would enjoy the game a lot more if I was just better at it. It's a skill issue. Look, this game is just so refreshingly unique despite like the premise being just very simple. I hear it's coming to mobile soon, and I definitely think I'll be picking it up again when that happens. This game is absolutely fantastic and you should definitely check it out. Especially if you're looking for a game that can just like dole out dopamine hits like it's nothing and, not damage your wallet.
You turned your back on us!
I think we all know whose fault it is.
He just wants to join us so he can betray us again! Enough!
Oh my god, that could be it. Thanks a lot, new kid. This is all your fault. Come on, new kid. Put your shit on. Come on, Button. Let's go, Stan. Snow day, everyone!
So this was like kind of the main reason I was going to make this video, is because I was going to plan a whole video around this new South Park game and I was looking forward to it. Yeah. So if you don't know, South Park Snow Day is an action RPG and set in a very unsettling looking 3D South Park. And look, I wasn't expecting the quality of like Stick or Truth or Fractured But Whole going into this, but because the game's priced a bit more as a budget title, although the older games are kind of just now being sold at a cheaper price than this one launched at. Look, I kind of liked what I was playing somewhat, but it quickly became obvious that while I could play it in single player mode, it was meant to be played as a multiplayer game, and I just didn't really want to play this game with random people, and the game is just way too expensive to try and convince my friends to buy it to play it with me. I just also found the dialogue to be very tame and honestly pretty lame. And look, while there were some cool ideas being thrown around, like with the gameplay systems, I liked the bullshit system. That sounded like it could have been really fun. The whole game just kind of felt like really underbaked. So this one was unfortunately a refund. I think if the game was maybe like a third of the price than it currently is, then it might be worth it. But if you're looking for a South Park game, Stick of Truth and Fractured But Whole are just two amazing turn-based RPGs that are not only very good games, but they do the South Park brand justice, and I can't really say the same for Snow Day. It just isn't there. Bandletale, a League of Legends story. A Bandletale in its essence is like a chilled out farming sim game in the same vein as like Stardew Valley, Palia, or that Disney one. What makes Bandletale unique from these games is that we have the ability to pick up our house, which is a magical backpack, and take it around the world as we travel, which is actually just such a fantastic concept, and it fits very well into like not only the eccentric nature of the game, but just also lets our character go on a journey and explore the world, while still like, you know, retaining that like farming sim style of gameplay. This is simultaneously the game's best feature and it's one of its biggest flaws, because like despite the ability to like take our home around the world with us, the places that we can actually put it are very limited. And due to how resource collecting works and crafting works, you are constantly having to like pick up your home, move it somewhere, and you can't like travel to other zones without your house. It just won't let you. So it just becomes like this really tedious thing that you have to go through over and over. And like often you just have to pick up your house, move it to a place so you can craft one thing, pack everything back up, move it somewhere else. Like while the game has made it easier to pick up and go, it still hasn't removed the tedium of having to do it so many times over and over. Speaking of tedious, I found myself enjoying the game thoroughly until about the 10-hour mark. Up to this point, the game's pacing felt like perfect. There was a great blend of exploration, crafting, and story, but then you get to this point where 3 new zones will open up at this once, and the game just becomes a lot less linear. And while this was great in theory, and you know, I was looking forward to the game just doing this, in practice, the game just kind of becomes a grind. Everything becomes just a little bit more convoluted, and I just found myself unable to juggle just everything that was going on. I will say though, I do not regret my purchase with this game. Like, this game just has like a fantastic atmosphere. The art style, music, pretty much everything that's happening in this game. I think most people can probably handle the grind like better than I can. They're better at their organizing skills than me. So I absolutely recommend this game if you're a fan of the farming sim genre. And while this is a game set in the League of Legends universe, you don't need to be a League of Legends fan to enjoy this, I don't think. But you will get that just like little bit extra out of it with interacting with the characters from the game. Now, this game technically didn't come out this year. It actually came out like 14 years ago. Like, I played the demo of it on Xbox Live Arcade. Yeah, it was that long ago. But I never actually like had the money to buy the game, and then like just like eventually got delisted off every digital store ever. So then I couldn't actually buy the game when I actually wanted it. I kind of wonder if this game would have like ever been re-released if like Edgar Wright and Brian Lee O'Malley like kicking a stink about it like on Twitter. This game was like one of the first examples, along with maybe like the Deadpool game, of the potential horrors of like digital only stores where games can just get made and then disappear. And like, I knew this game got re-released, but I didn't know it was like on Steam until a few weeks ago when I spotted it on sale. And look, yeah, this game is great. It is a fantastic throwback to like the old beat 'em up arcade machine games, and it's just got a Scott Pilgrim twist on it. The soundtrack by like Anna Managuchi is just fantastic and iconic. This is just like another one of those games that I suck at, but the atmosphere of the game and in particular the personality it has just kind of makes this game shine overall. I recommend this game highly, and it is a good game to play with friends, and it's fairly cheap, and I'm pretty sure it goes on sale like often. I will caution though, if you're buying this game on Steam, it will run through the Ubisoft launcher, and Ubisoft have recently set the precedent that they're like willing to make games that have already been bought and are capable of offline play just completely unplayable for no reason. If you don't know about that, go look at what they're doing with The Crew. One of the most horrendous things I've ever seen a publisher do to their game. I will leave a link to a video in the description if you want to learn more about what Ubisoft did to The Crew, and hopefully there'll be something that can be done about it. We'll just have to see. Maniac is an isometric shooter that came out about a few days ago. Basically, you just take the core gameplay from like going on a rampage in Grand Theft Auto, and that's it. It's like a less edgy version of Hatred. I mean, it's still pretty edgy, but at least the game has got, like, it's trying to be funny. I don't think it's trying to be taken seriously at all. The controls are good, the sandbox is, and the physics are like way more fun than I expected for a game at the price that it was. Maniac, it goes for one thing and it just does it well. And like, while I could complain that the game feels a little bit bare bones, the game's pretty cheap. But I would just like to see more done with this. I'm hoping that the developer just continues to work on this game because there's some definite promise here. Like, there's some good stuff going on. It just needs a little bit more. I'm sure you get more than a few hours out of it if you like, you know, unlocking everything. I kind of just got reminded that like, this is the kind of game like I feel the news will show when they just like, you know, want to fearmonger to parents about the dangers of video games and violence and all that shit. If you can handle the more edgy elements of this game, look, I totally recommend it for a few bucks.
Hot Wheels, built to perform better and look cooler. Take racing to new heights. Jump, stunt, crash. Now the fun begins.
What I like about Game Pass is that I can actually try games that I'm not like normally interested enough to spend money on. And then, so I don't like feel like I'm, you know, potentially wasting my money on a game that I'm just not gonna like at all. So what did I think about Hot Wheels Unleashed 2? It's actually really, really fun. I usually really like arcade races and this one just works on so many levels for me. It's easy to pick up, the driving is satisfying, it looks and runs great, and the soundtrack, it just absolutely slaps. I wish I could hear the soundtrack over the noise of the game, but for some reason the only audio options in this game are music and master volume. Master volume will turn down everything, and so they made it so the music can only ever be at that like one maximum point, so you can have music up at whole. Master volume goes down, turns everything down including the music. Why? I would love to know. I think the thing that makes it even more bizarre is that Maniac, a game that seems like it was, I think was made by one person, has better audio options than a professionally made studio game. That's also a sequel. It's not even the first time I've made a game. Look, this game is a perfect Game Pass game. It's like not a game I really want to own, and there's no way I would spend like the asking price for this one, but it's a game that I'd love to play with some friends, and the asking price for Game Pass is like, you know, an easier sell at like 1/8 the price of like buying the full game. So I think this game is worth it if you wait for a sale or if you just decide to play it through Game Pass. But this one was like surprisingly good. If any of the boys are watching this, yeah, download this one and we'll have a couple of games.
Apologies, we seem to be having some technical difficulties, but one thing's for certain, it will be fun. Take the platform!
So the finals has just started its second season, and in doing so it has like tweaked the battle pass progression in a way that I kind of like. Challenges now last the whole season instead of a week, and it's definitely the way I prefer things. There's also been a couple of new weapons and gadgets that have been added, and I like them all. The FAMAS is good, the Raffica is okay, the shotgun is really weird, but I like using it, but I suck with it. The one thing I don't like about the new season of the finals is the new game mode, Power Shift. The best thing about Power Shift is that it adds a couple of extra players per team, which can like kind of amp up the carnage, and it surprisingly doesn't affect the balancing too much. But the moment-to-moment gameplay, like focused around the payload type objective, it just isn't great. It doesn't do it for me. I feel like there's too much snowballing involved. I barely ever have like games that are even. It is still fun enough with friends. You know, if you have more than 3 players, then I guess you have to play Power Shift because it's, you know, the only game mode that has more than 3 players per team. Look, the finals is still one of my favorite shooters at the moment, and it's like super criminal that like more people aren't playing this game. So, you know, come on, jump on the finals. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching this one. I will be doing a similar video with movies and TV in the next week or so. Look, try out these games, except for South Park. Game kind of sucks. Thank you all for watching. please remember to, give a like, do the subscribe if you're new. Catch you later.